The government begins cancelling Jobkeeper. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and I hope you're all having a good afternoon. I've just settled down for my afternoon stein of coffee when some breaking news appeared on news.com.au, and I thought we should have a look and discuss it. So the Morrison government will end the free childcare program on July 12th and stop Jobkeeper payments to the sector on July the 20th. So they are beginning to cancel Jobkeeper and ending the free childcare program. Now, I've been wondering aloud for a while what will happen in September or October if they will actually cancel the Jobkeeper payments, or if they would phase it out. Now, if this is any indication of what they intend to do, if they intend to cancel abruptly, or they've given notice, they've definitely given notice, we'll have to see what happens in September. Because having all these businesses propped up by this zombie payment isn't necessarily a good thing. And then you'll have people making the argument, but they can spend so much money on these housing grants. Well, that's a different thing. You've got to remember, for every 25 grand the government puts in, private investment times 4 is also accompanying it. So there's a much greater economic impact, where putting money into childcare, it won't have as big a spread. And that's the harsh truth of the matter. It allows people to get to work, but if they're at home, it's just propping up those industries to make them ready when people can jump back. So it's this just the beginning of the economy slowly waking up, slowly getting back to normal, activity resuming. So let's have a look here. So Jobkeeper payments for childcare workers will end on July 20, and Australia's free childcare program will be wound up on July 12th. It's been announced. In a shock decision, Education Minister Dan Tehan today confirmed changes to the free program, which was originally due to end on June 28th. So they've actually extended it. They've actually extended it a little bit longer. There were calls for the program to be extended for 3 months, but Prime Minister Scott Morrison had already taken down that idea, saying it was always meant to be a temporary program. And this is the thing. You don't want these government temporary programs to manifest into long-term things. I think that's the only point of difference we can have between Labor and Liberal at the moment, is there's a slight chance, ever so slight chance, that these programs won't become permanent fixtures. I know, maybe that's just naive, but we'll have to see. But Mr. Tehan's announcement that Jobkeeper payments for childcare workers would also end next month took many by surprise, as it comes after Mr. Morrison guaranteed Jobkeeper would continue to be paid until September. The 6 months provision of Jobkeeper has been set out in legislation, and people can count on that, Mr. Morrison told reporters on Friday. One journalist followed up his statement asking, "You can guarantee that will be there until the end of September?" And he said yes. While the childcare sector will no longer get Jobkeeper payments from July 20, Mr. Tehan said the government would continue to support the sector through other payments. Well, the entire sector, the entire industry is completely supported by the government. How many people receive payments? It's not a... The free market is a very regulated industry. There's a lot of players in there that do it to make a significant amount of money, and the government is right up in childcare. A transitionary payment consisting of 25% of free revenue will continue to be paid to centres from July 13th to September 27, and currently the government is paying centres 50% of their fee revenue. So just think about that. As well as the Jobkeeper, they're getting 50% of their fee revenue. Do you think these businesses should have had money set aside for hard times? Although, will they now, moving forward, will businesses... Well, here's the thing. Because the state stepped in and propped everyone up, is it worth investing money aside to have your own capital for an eventuality like this? Will businesses plan for this, or will they just instead invest that money lobbying to ensure that their industry will get propped up? What do you think is more likely to happen, everyone? A further $708 million will be paid to centres to help them with the transition and cash flow. For parents, subsidised fees will return on July 13. So they need to start paying on July 13. And even then, it's already subsidised. It's quite heavily subsidised. And I mean, you have to feel sorry for these businesses and the workers, that there's nothing that they could have done because the state forced them to close. And yet now we're having huge protests with large numbers of people. We're having people go back to school. The government will also ease the activity test on the minimum number of hours that people have to spend working, studying or volunteering in order to qualify for subsidies. These families to receive up to 100 hours of subsidised care during this period, he said. The Education Minister said demand for childcare services had reached 74%, and the new package was designed to deal with this increase. What we're asking of the sector is that childcare fees remain capped at the level of the reference period, which is the fortnight ending the 2nd of March, he said. Services will need to guarantee average employment levels over the 3 months to protect staff who will move off the Jobkeeper payment. I mean, this just sounds like a nightmare. If you're working in this industry, you're pretty much a government employee and everything. You're a de facto and government employee. It's such a regulated industry. Where's the innovation? Where's the market adaptation? But it's children. It's children. Education, look at how unionized that is. It's very emotive. People are very emotive. I just know how expensive kindergarten was. And for what you got, it was crazy. So much cheaper ways to get children to socialize. Earlier, Prime Minister Scott Morrison talked down the prospect of extending free childcare for another 3 months. The Prime Minister said the $1.6 billion scheme, which was due to end on June 28th, was never meant to be permanent. It was a measure designed for the times, and like all of our measures, we are constantly looking at them and applying them to the circumstances as we know them, he told reporters in Canberra on Friday. The Morrison government's nothing's ever free, is it? Free pandemic childcare plan was announced on April 2nd and paid childcare centres 50% of their fees up to a rate cap. Combined with the Jobkeeper scheme, the plan was aimed at helping childcare centres stay open while also providing free childcare for parents. So, what do you think, guys? Are you surprised that they are actually starting to strip back Jobkeeper? Do you think this will happen to other industries? Will some of these centres now, will they struggle to survive? What will be interesting, what will be quite interesting, will be to see some of the parents that have been forced to homeschool. Maybe they'll realise, we can save our money. We don't need to send them to childcare. We prefer doing it this way. Rachel's been on a lot of the homeschooling forums, and a lot of them are saying, how do we get into this? We want to do this. How do we do it? It's a different life once you realise it. Because you're paying other people to have some good rate memories with your kids when you can do it. Although they can be little messy terrors sometimes as well. So here we have it, guys. Is this an indication of what will occur with Jobkeeper in September and October? Will they just pull the plug on it? Then what will happen to property? Will consumer confidence return? Or will we start to see more and more people into forced sales for their investment properties, their 6 investment properties? We'll have to see. As always, thank you for watching. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions. Have you taken advantage of childcare payments? Are you sending your kids back? No problems. Or you're a bit concerned with everything that's going on. As always, thanks for watching. If you're a fan of the channel and you want to support the content we create, there's a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy our merch at HeiseSays. You can support us using Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or you can also support us via PayPal. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.